oil out and get grounded. Here we go. Wonderful. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to our fun Friday the 13th solar eclipse, new moon, whammo meditation for this evening. I'm going to just kind of talk about some fun stuff that we should be aware of in this season that's coming about right now. Just using some spruce oil, some black spruce oil to just kind of raise my frequency and just get really grounded. I love how it just makes me feel tingly all over when I end up smelling this oil. I think it's the free one this month too, so I'm going to get a new bottle, so that's exciting. So I want to talk a little bit about this moon in Libra energy because it is going to be quite profound. I've found myself saying a few times this week, like, this leading up to is truly just the preemptive part of this portal that's coming in for the next couple of weeks. So it's like, if we feel like things have been a little bit quick and chaotic and things have been sort of coming at us in some pretty profound ways and some pretty profound areas, that it's going to get it's going to get a little more intense still, because this next 2 weeks is really a powerful time when you think about when a sun and moon come together like this. So when the moon actually comes in between the earth and the sun in that direct alignment, it's almost like a nuclear atom going off when, like magnetic and emotion come together, the sun and the moon. And when you think about all of these things that it encompasses, it's like this big bomb that kind of goes off, especially for empaths and healers. And so the healers of this time, I don't think I've gotten so many calls from shamans, witches, and healers this week than I ever have before. Just looking for some guidance and some help just to kind of keep them back directed into that that finding satisfaction, that creation mode, just kind of getting them back into that place of love, because they're finding that there's so much shadow work going on. There's so many things that are, it's neat. My body's starting to shake just talking about all this releasing that's been going on, because it's been this buildup, right, with equinox, and then we had the 1010 portal where Pluto actually went direct again. And so Pluto is all about the death and the rebirth and the shadows. And so that was really intense a few days ago for people. I found it really interesting too, even leading up to, I think it was Wednesday night. It was on the 10th, it would have been. Maybe that was Tuesday night. I had a couple sessions planned with people, and for one reason or other, messages didn't go through, things didn't end up working out. And what was really wild is that I needed that night for the acute calls. Hey, Nikki, welcome. I needed that space to be held for these acute healers that were going to be calling all of a sudden and needing this direction, because otherwise, had they contacted me and said, could we get in for a session this week, I would have been like, I can't, like, I'm just completely booked. So it was neat how the universe just aligned that. And I didn't know why everything was kind of going that way until the evening just progressed. And I was just so peacefully guiding these amazing healers and witches and shamans back to a place where they felt that peace again, that satisfaction again, where they could actually be grounded and just be able to kind of hold space for them. And that helped me to realize even more clarity about who I love to work with, and who, it just, everything right now is just bringing us so much clarity, even if it is in the way that it's showing us what we don't want. This is a really important and imperative time to truly be aware of these messages that are being brought forth to us. The intuition is strong. The dreams are profound. Although I wasn't sure if I was going to share this tonight, but I had the weirdest dream when I went into like a meditative state and ended up passing out. Obviously that needed to happen. And when I came to, I had this little dream of showing up at a client's house and I didn't have pants. And I was like, what? I had pants in the car. So I brought them in and I was, scratching my butt, my underwear, getting into some pants while I was talking to these people. And I just thought, what does this mean? So I didn't even look it up because I thought maybe that was just some theta state nonsense. But it was quite funny when I woke up. I was just like, what timeline was that? So yeah, it was quite cute. So dreams, I mean, there are people popping in from our past. Sometimes they're just popping into our dreams. Sometimes they're actually popping into reality. It can be signifying ends of things. It can be signifying, oh, this is so funny. And the other thing that's been happening is the cats. Hi. The cats, every session I've been in with a person that has, you guys have had dreams about missing your pets. We'll have to look that up before the session's over just to see. But the cats, especially with the healers and the witches and stuff, if they have cats, all of a sudden they're up, the cats are up on the desk, they're in the room. Like my Squishy, she used to come around all the time in the room. This week, the sessions that I've been doing, especially when I'm with my, my healers that I have on today, and there's been a few others this week. Squishy is all over us. She's been sort of wandering around, just meowing during the sessions, doing funny things. And their cats have been doing the same thing as well. They've been coming into the session. They're feeling the energy. It's intense. They feel the energy. So they are really drawn to it. And the eclipse energy is even stronger. They love it. They usually love, like, especially when I first started doing recodes, as soon as I would get into recode, be like, okay, when I sort of say, all right, everybody get comfortable, dogs are exactly the same. I think the cats there's something about Halloween with cats and this October energy that we have, because the veils are very thin, but dogs and cats are able to see things that we are not, right? So they end up coming in for that energy, or they want to be on you, or they want to be even touching you while you're in the meditation. And that doesn't always happen, but every single, I forgot that I was thinking I should probably lock Squishy out today because I knew she'd probably come in, and there she was, all meowing in the corner here. So just, yeah, really intense energy. So I think of it as, like I was just saying, I'm not sure if you guys were on yet, and hey Heather, welcome. When the sun and the moon are just in alignment with the earth like that, it's like this nuclear fusion. So it's like a zapping for the healers. It's almost like a zapping us into the timeline that we're supposed to be on. And so being extra cognizant of our emotions and of our feelings, and our ability and our want and our need to want to stay in harmony. This is where this Libra energy comes in. Libra is all about creating peace and creating harmony in whichever way that may be. So the big theme is around relationships and careers. So what you may find is with careers, it's all of a sudden opportunities are going to be coming about, especially in the next couple of weeks, because this is where it sort of is on high speed, manifesting very quickly. So opportunities may come up, but are we in receiving mode? So this is the question for today. And I just got goosebumps going the whole way down my body. Are we in receiving mode? Are we feeling connected to source? Are we feeling in the land of all possibilities? Are we feeling love? Or are we feeling some anxiety? Or are we feeling some anger? Or are we feeling, and how much of that are we feeling? So are we feeling that more than we're feeling that connection and that love and that, and the consciousness path is to truly be in that feeling of love, right? So that we can be in receiving mode, so we can see those things. Otherwise, the radio station's going to be playing all the good stuff that we've been asking for is happening, but we're not going to see it. We're not even going to receive it. We're going to totally miss that red truck that keeps driving by because we're not looking for it, right? We're looking at all the stuff that is about what we don't have, not what we do want. So I feel like this week and this evening, this weekend is all about sort of allowing that. Good evening, Angie, welcome. allowing these shifts, allowing these opportunities to occur. So career is going to be a big focus over this next little while, especially these next couple weeks. This portal, though, this eclipse season, we're not going to have another solar eclipse like this until 2025. And the kind of cool thing about this is we haven't had one since 2016. So this is a big one. This is a solar eclipse that you can see, that we're going to go out in the middle of the afternoon and be able to actually see and feel the ring of fire, to see the moon darken over the sun. Everything's going to go dark for just a moment. Our primal instincts are going to kick in, and we're going to all of a sudden align magnetically, energetically to where we're supposed to be, because the it's like the fight or flight sort of kicks in our time space continuum and allows us to reset to that timeline in the darkness. It's really kind of wild. So look for it on Saturday at it would be 1:55 Eastern time. So in New York, it's at 1:55, and in North America, up where we are, Angie, it'll be like 12:55, and so on with the time zones. So you can figure on being outside. It's one of those ones where you want the funky glasses and you want to be able to actually see and experience that ominous feeling of darkness in the middle of the afternoon, where we have an eclipse that you can actually see. And so the energies around this eclipse are going to bring us back into April's energy. So we're going to do a meditation tonight where we're going to be going on paths. We're going to be exploring the path that is lit up for us, that path of least resistance, that path that we kind of have been pouring some of that energy into, where we actually are going, wouldn't that be nice? I think I would like that. I think this feels wonderful. The feelings of how that would feel. We're going to be going on that good feeling path. And along the way, we may travel into April and look at April's energy. This doesn't mean that we're going to be where we were in April, but we may be being brought back to April to see where we can expand from that version of ourselves in April. Maybe we'll even notice that we're doing things a little bit differently, but there's maybe still more that we want to do. Maybe we decided at that time with our career, and the other aspect is relationships. So we look at career and relationships in 2016, what was going on. I think back, and that's when I was truly being strongly guided by the universe to do something other than massage therapy. I just didn't know what it was until 2017. I had an accident and found magnetic mind and life coaching. And I realized today, I had this epiphany that I remember saying in April that, or in 2016, that I wanted to be able to help heal more. Like I wanted to be able to massage a whole bunch of people all at once is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to, with that feeling when someone gets up and just goes, oh, I wish I just felt like this all the time. That was amazing. Just, I notice I have that same thing with my clients, right? Like at the end of our calls, it's always like, this was exactly what I needed. I feel so aligned. I feel blah, blah, blah. You guys know how it feels after you have a great session. You're just like, yes, you feel like I think Heather said it today, like a squeaky new person or something like that. Like it just kind of clears the sludge. It allows you to sort of get refocused and feel really good. That's what I wanted, but I just had no idea how that was going to happen. If you had told me I was doing energy work online, I was explaining to an old friend today at lunch that I'm doing this now, and that I'm, if I'm doing the energy work and I have people on the screen, you can see them moving with your hands. Shiny new human. That was so cute. I hope you don't mind me sharing that. It was just I loved that saying, that just, it's like you can. And that's what I wanted to be able to create for people. But I never would have thought that it would be online, or that I could even do some of the work that I was still doing online for as many people as I possibly can. It's out on YouTube where it could touch millions if, you know, if I actually dialed into the SEOs and got it out to be visible. I was showing her my YouTube channel today and I'm like, oh geez, that's well hidden. I can search my name, you don't find it. I can search Magnetic Soul. I have it as Jackie Aiken Magnetic Soul. Like I didn't make it easy, or I wasn't concerned about the visibility. I just wanted it out there so that the people that needed it would find it in the container. And but now it's like, now I'm ready for that next level, ready for that next level. But you have to get to that next level to be ready for that next level. And this is why sometimes it takes so long for us to truly know what it is that we really love and what it is that we really want. And that's the beauty part of the journey. It turns out you always hear everybody say it's not about the money. It's about the journey getting there. It's about the finding it out. It's about the realizing and seeing when you actually do these things, how it all kind of plays out and it feels so good. And when that you get that satisfaction of feeling so good that you're doing something that felt in alignment and felt like it lit you up a little bit, you all of a sudden get that synergy to allow more to come in, to allow more to show you exactly what it is that you want, because we can't possibly know exactly how it's going to happen. We just really need to be clear on that vision of what it is that we just would really love, and not put so much pressure on it, right? Get into that solution mode around it. So the eclipse energy is definitely going to bring it through quickly. And so that can seem kind of chaotic for some. And for some that are really going through this sort of, we'd almost call it a dark night of the soul type of time, this is to create our happiness and our satisfaction. This is to really show us. This is where mindset really comes into play, because this is where we get to choose. Are we going to allow ourselves to go into victim about it? Are we going to allow ourselves to stay stuck? Are we going to allow ourselves to continue to make choices that aren't going to keep us moving forward? Because we always have a choice. And one of the sentences that kept coming into my head today was, so many people feel like, well, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. You know, sometimes when we talk about, so what's holding you back? Well, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. We always have a choice. And that is where we get to take our power back, right? We get to choose how it is that we're going to move forward, no matter what has happened in the past. Even with these healers and these shamans that I'm working with, they have had incredible traumas. They've gone through a lot and they weren't noticing it so much, or they thought they had kind of dealt with it until this week. They're like, there's stuff coming up that's like, I don't even know if it's real or not, but it's coming up. So I feel like I need to deal with it. Well, they could have that completely throw them off. They could have these traumas, could be enough to stop them completely from going on this path of lighting up paths for others. Because we watch people, we get inspired by them as they go on their journey and they learn these things. Even some of the gurus that I've been paying attention to over the last few years, who have been doing this for, you know, just say under 10 years kind of thing, they're still going through growth where we're learning from them, but we're seeing that it can be done. And so that inspires us to do it as well. Now, if we're watching it and we're getting triggered by it and we can't, you know, all of a sudden can't watch it, or feeling some of those lower vibrational emotions come up around it, it's often, almost always, to show us what it is that we want. It's often because it's something we want and that we probably could be doing and maybe even should be doing. And all of a sudden, it gives us an ability to look at it from saying either, oh, well, the market's completely saturated, or they've already done it, so there's no room for me. It's literally this path that they're lighting up for us to be able to follow. And I think that's why I feel like this work is so important, because we're all lighting up paths for people as well, whether we know it or not. On a collective level, we're actually creating a magnetic pathway for people to be able to to also follow and see and understand this whole law of attraction. So whatever it is that we're resisting is going to persist. If there's something that we are focusing on that is not moving forward, that we're falling into those lower vibrational frequencies around, we're never going to be able to, sort of rise above that and allow our consciousness, allow our path to align if we're staying in that. So this is why it's so imperative right now to really be focused on tuning into love, tuning into those higher frequencies. So how do we do that, right? There's lots of ways, and I know I've taught you guys lots of ways over the last couple of years, but I feel like the keys right now are taking a few moments in silence, taking a few moments for ourselves each day, actually planning it. There's even a bit of a gratitude challenge that I've seen floating around where for 2 weeks, let's give this a try. Before you go to bed and every morning as you wake up, whether you have to set your alarm 5 minutes early or put your phone away 5 minutes earlier at the end of the night, every night and every morning, even if it's just for the next 2 weeks, we could make it 3, we could make it to the end of October, which would kind of bring us, past that lunar eclipse, right into the over Halloween. This could really be profound. If we're going to be manifesting and we have any inkling of how strong and powerful this eclipse portal is, we probably wouldn't not let ourselves do this. So all we do is think of 10 things that you're grateful for, right? Super simple. Everybody knows gratitude journals. Everybody knows about being grateful. But when you're in a mindset where you're feeling like, why does this always happen? I feel like I'm struggling. I feel like I'm hanging on. I feel like I'm just surviving. I feel like this is the energy that we are accidentally manifesting because of the way law of attraction works. If we just simply look at the law of attraction, it responds to magnetic vibration. So what magnetic vibration is being emitted, right? That's basic, so simple, just makes so much sense. We only need to hold a thought for 17 seconds to create more of that energy. So if for more than 17 seconds a day, you're feeling like you don't have enough money, or you have to figure a way out of this brokenness so that you can get out of this, so that you can get out of this, that is more than 17 seconds. That is where the energy is going. And so we just see more of the ways that we need to create money and more of the ways of scarcity. If we can get into that abundance feeling, and for anybody that didn't get Wednesday's class, let me know and I'll send it over to you, because Wednesday's class was working with abundance and actually working with the feeling of being a multimillionaire and actually allowing that to happen, and asking yourself, like, why is it so easy for me to just be in alignment with all these opportunities coming ahead? Why is it so easy for me to just expand my money? And really stepping into that, really allowing ourselves to be in that for that moment of time for more than 17 seconds brought that up right away. Gratitude brings you up to a higher frequency of over 500. It can go into 6 or 7 if you really get high into appreciation and satisfaction and joy and love and really allow it to expand. So when we think of things like, it can be, I'm just so grateful for my kids, and I'm so grateful for the health that we have. I'm so grateful I can walk. I'm just so grateful that my body breathes on its own overnight without a machine, having to be able to get comfy in my bed and my sheets and my, if you haven't had a bed to sleep in, man, you appreciate that bed. If you've been stuck in a hospital, oh, you appreciate your house so much. But we get complacent. We forget to be so grateful for these things. Just going into that state where we're feeling it for 10 things, it would take you less than 2 minutes every single day, morning and night. We say morning and night because you're the most neutral. You're in kind of going into that beta state already before you hit theta, before you can actually fall asleep. You're kind of in that sort of level of consciousness where the brain is very pliable, they've noted in science that you can actually really affect the brain and the brain's chemicals. Because think about it, chemicals are emitted from emotions. Emotions are causing the chemicals that we are essentially addicted to. So if we're addicted to stress, if this is something that our body has thrived on and truly survived on, those are going to be the chemicals that are the most prevalent and that are calling for the most attention and calling for the most reaction. And vibrationally, those are going to be the ones that are fed. And those aren't the ones that are going to make us healthy. And this eclipse time is just the perfect time to replenish and regenerate and nourish and cleanse out our systems. And so we're going to hop into a meditation right away where I'm going to do a bit of a cleansing treatment with some of our stones and stuff that I have over here, and just whatever is speaking to me. I've been charging them up over the last few full moons, and I've had them soaked in salt water and getting everything cleansed and cleared. I also lit a candle earlier just to allow any energy to be cleansed, to be moved through. So do some candle work over this next week or so, especially over this weekend. You'll find this weekend, it'll almost be like that pause between the breath where Saturday and Sunday are going to feel kind of weird, like almost like walking between timelines, almost ominous and eerie, where the birds are all silent. All of a sudden, it's going to be this sort of silent, interesting feeling time where you almost might feel like you're kind of like a planet in retrograde, like you're just almost standing still. And then the forward momentum and the energy is going to start to pick up after Monday, where it's just really going to move us into next week's energy. And we're going to feel more energy than we have. A lot of us have had these sort of ascension symptoms going on over the last little while, where there's been so much letting go, there's been so much shifting that the body's actually kind of needed to catch up. And I feel like that's sort of what happens this weekend with Pluto going direct. And then we have Saturn. Saturday is ruled by Saturn, and the fact that this eclipse is on a Saturday, and Saturn is a lot about karma and this shadow work again, this sort of upheaval. I feel like it's going to be a week where we're not going to feel the symptoms so much as we'll actually feel the energy. The energy is going to kind of outweigh the symptoms. We've kind of done this catch up to be able to level up to get here. And then it'll be less difficult, like the headaches and the body pains and the stiffness and things like that we'll see start to kind of dissipate. But a lot of people have been having certain issues. Even the poor lady I was with at lunch today, her husband's back is acting up, like, and I was saying I got a bunch of calls over the last couple of days just saying, can you fit me in anywhere? My ribs are out of place, this is going on. And it's just everything is kind of being shifted. And even in our bodies, there's inflammation kind of trying to work itself out. So allow this time to detox, allow this time for your body to catch up. Notice where you've been maybe sacrificing, in relationships, in career. Are we feeling overdrawn? This is the time to create balance. This is what Libra is all about. And so where are we sacrificing ourselves? Where are we giving more than we're receiving? And where are we feeling drained and drawn? And where can we dial this in a little bit? For a lot of us, especially for healers, we might have been feeling like things that will keep us out of receiving mode, right? Things like we used to always give too much because for whatever reason it helped us feel like we belong. It comes from some of those limiting beliefs. We just love to do it, but we love to feel the love. And then all of a sudden it's like we feel like we're not appreciated. And then it's like we've kind of overgiven. This is the time to notice those things. And when I was talking about going back to 2016, this is that redo period as well. Look at the way you used to allow people to treat you in 2016. Look at the way you were treating people in comparison to now, you've probably leveled up in a whole new way where look how you treated yourself back in 2016, right? Did you think you had to do it all? Did you think you were the only one? Were you trying to control everything? And now we kind of realize the more control I get is by actually letting go and allowing this law of attraction, these laws of the universe to work for me. We know the rules now. We know how to play the game, right? By just being able to use our mindset to shift our power back into love. So even before we're going out, it's almost like, especially for empaths and people that are healers, I have goosebumps again. It's almost more important to be able to get ourselves into that state of love as many times as we can. So I'm going to put the gratitude challenge out to you guys, because and we've been promised, and I've seen it work. I've done it myself, where it works. Damn it, it works. If we can do some gratitude work just as you're falling asleep, do a little bit in the morning, wake up that way, right? Like, I'll try and kind of pop on in the groups and stuff, just kind of even saying some things I'm grateful for, because you start to think, like, I'm so grateful for all of these things, just being able to do the things you want to do, the animals around you, the people around you. We can become grateful so quickly, even for this, beautiful shirt I was able to put on, remembering to get my pants on before I left the house. I'm so grateful. All these things that we can be grateful for, that we don't take that time to do. And it's so easy. Now my ears are ringing. It's so easy to just drop in and really get into that state of gratitude for literally 2 minutes. It's very, very easy, and will shift your frequency right away. It'll connect you to God. It'll connect you to source. It gives you that feeling like, oh, and you can just carry that throughout your day. Your ears are ringing. It's I've done like a whole session on it before, because there's, if it's the right ear, if it's the left ear, if it's warning you of something, or if it's trying to get your attention. But it's usually a shift in frequency that you can actually feel, that you're connected to superconscious, that you're connected to angels, like angels talking to you. Sometimes there's messages. So a lot of times when the ears ring, you can actually just kind of stop and just say, what am I supposed to hear right now? And you'll be able to actually sometimes hear a song, or a slight message, or a thought. It may just come to you. So it's a beautiful time to know that you're connected. If it doesn't shift after you ask and it stays ringing, well, then you can have tinnitus. But generally, especially in doing stuff like this, it's just, I'll get like this ear ringing, or someone's probably going to hop on right away that was thinking about us, that will end up popping on. A lot of times my ears will ring when Christos ends up popping into the waiting room. It's just interesting. Or if someone's having a meditation that I'm missing, that's happened to me a lot of times when Shilpi stuff starts and I've forgotten. I'm like, oh, it's like my little warning sign that it's going on. And sure enough, there's something just started, and it's perfect timing to go hop in. So the other things are, this time is all about throat and solar plexus, throat chakra, solar plexus. So notice those things that you're feeling in the gut, those gut feelings. A lot of people have had a lot of indigestion lately, just because some stuff is moving through there. That area is calling for attention. When we get into it now, I'm things are moving all of a sudden. When we get into it, that they'll have that happen where you get these little burps all of a sudden, or hiccups even, or gurgles. You'll just feel gurgles. It's like you're connecting to your solar plexus all of a sudden, and it's getting that attention. So the throat as well, singing, humming, and the more music that you can play, the better. The more breath work you can do, where you're actually engaging your breath and you're engaging sound, is beautiful to really open up and align the throat chakra right now. I don't know if you guys remember that Satanama chant that we did last year. That is beautiful. It's invoking all of the alchemic realms of air, fire, Libra's air, right? So we're kind of getting into the transmission of things on such an easy basis, and the purification of using breath work and using your breath to really connect. Literally, if you take a few breaths and think about something that you really are grateful for, it is very hard to stay in those lower vibrations. It's just, we have to make the choice to do it. we often don't. Even as teachers and coaches, we forget sometimes and get, can get carried away, struggling a little bit more with those lower emotions. But I always turn around and kind of ask myself, is this trying to show me something else? Could this be the best possible outcome? Even if it's something crazy like ending a relationship, sometimes we're trying to stay in a relationship because we're too afraid to lose them, or we feel too bad, but we could be holding them back from the relationship that they've been waiting for now that they learned what they learned with you. The same thing goes with the job. Maybe there's a better person for the job. Maybe it's a board that you're on. Maybe there's a better person that's waiting right around the corner, but because you feel like you have to do it all, because you always did it all, and you're going to control it in that way, it can really hold things back, as including yourself, right? Because we're keeping busy doing these things that perhaps someone else could do, or would maybe even be better suited for. Perhaps the relationship was truly to be able to get you to this point where you actually don't even want one anymore, or you're gonna decide to work on the relationship with yourself. But it's hard to do sometimes when you're with someone else. Sometimes we were meant to be with that person, and now you're going to go on this expansion together because you're lighting the path for them. If you can stay in the feeling of love and light this path for them to follow you down, they can choose to come down it with you. They may not, and it may be very clear at this point in time, and it may happen very quickly, that you just decide that this really doesn't fit in to where you're going. And so this is why it's so important to know where we're going. So I want you guys to have fun with me getting into receiving mode. We're going to go down that lit up path. We're going to go down the path that's been lit up for us by the people that we admire. And I want you to think of, for just a couple of minutes here, of a way to be able to get into an emotion of feeling as though you are becoming a person that you kind of admire. And just think of someone that is kind of already doing what you want to be doing, is kind of, when you've said, wouldn't that be awesome if I could just have a multi-million-dollar business, and then I want you to think about what that means to you. What is comfortable for you? What amount of money do you want coming in? What are you ready to manifest into your life? Let's get into some clarity around what this life is and has in store for us, and in all of the ways, and the ways that we've been just feeling called to, perhaps that we maybe even thought of back in 2016, a path that we may have gone on, and maybe even started something that we gave up, but something that we were passionate about. I'd like you to think about something now that you have manifested, something that you did. Maybe you got a degree, maybe you've done some things that not a lot of other people have done. And with your unique skills, the things that you're able to possibly accomplish are expansive to the point where you may never even have a clue. What if I was to tell you that for the next 2 years, this could be a whole different pathway? You could finally have what it is that you want. What is that? What is it that, if you really knew that within these couple of years, you were really going to have this, that it was really going to happen by this time, by springtime of 2025? You could actually be thinking about the next thing that you want, and the next thing that you want. And I want you to think about, if you had all that, how would you feel? How would it make you feel inside? Would it feel, because like we say, it's often not about the money. It's about the choices. It's about the choices that you can have when you're living in that everything is possible orientation, that solution orientation, not that anything's a problem, not that we have to fix anything. What if we nurtured our inner child that's coming up and asking for it right now? This is an imperative time to notice this inner child, this shadow. Without the light, we wouldn't be able to see the shadow. So now that this light has been coming on for us, that we've been able to be enlightened, that we've been able to learn what we have since April, since 2016, these things that we have, you know, we always think if we knew then what we know now. Well, we know so much more now. Imagine 2 years from now what more we're going to know, and how that path that we're going to be lighting up for others. It's unimaginable, really. The skills that even just the amazing people in this room have right now, to be able to light paths up for others like you've wanted to. Like, it's always kind of felt natural to be a bit of a leader or a teacher, or you want to guide others into feeling better, into finding satisfaction. We're now learning these tools and learning these ways to know how to do that. And so, thinking and feeling into that, I want you to imagine what this is that you want to create. And I really want you to step into this energy for a moment as we connect with our breath, getting comfortable. When we want to be in receiving mode, putting our palms up on our laps, or if you're lying down, you can just lay with your palms up, facing up. And I want you to just set the intention right now to allow your body, your mind, your soul to connect on a level that they may not have before. To truly feel, see, hear, taste, and touch what it feels like to create a life that you really love, where you are empowered, where you are strong and taking your power back, where you are making a choice every day to create more and more, to become this person. Because I'm telling you, the person that came into the beginning of October is going to be very different than the person that leaves this October. Now, where are you wanting to direct your attention? Are you going to direct it at all the things wrong? Or are you going to direct it at all the things that are just, oh, so right? And the path that's led you this far right now to this very moment. Sometimes we feel like it doesn't happen fast enough. Well, this next couple of weeks, things have the opportunity to happen within seconds, within minutes, within hours, within weeks. And you needed to be ready for this. And I feel like we are. I feel like that dialing in of what it is that we really want to create. It may be peace, it may be harmony, it may be happiness. I want you to dial into how that would feel right now to just have that. Is it a lot of money? Is it a lot of freedom? Is it a lot of choice? Is it expansion? Step into this person that you are becoming and imagine that you're in a green forest. And I want you to stand in this forest. Feel the lushness of the green. Feel the lushness of the green trees, of the green moss, of the green grass. Just imagining right now that you're fully engulfed around this beautiful green coloration, whatever you feel. And I want you to hear yourself taking a nice deep breath in the forest. Maybe focusing on the canopy of the forest, looking up, noticing that the sun is shining. And you're waiting for this beautiful eclipse to come. It's happening soon. And you're able to see the sun perfectly. I want you to imagine the sun peeking through the trees. Find a good spot in the forest where you can just sit and be. Perhaps there's a blanket or a hammock or some soft pillows, even a rock, somewhere to sit that's meant just for you. And I want you to notice down the trees a little bit, the leaves. Maybe some of them have been turning, a lot of them perhaps even looking a little bit more bare than they normally would. They've let go of what they're ready to let go of for this season. And I'd like to call in some of the archangels to just bring some healing energy. We'll bring Archangel Michael from the south, bringing in his healing sword, just cutting any old ties, cutting anything away that doesn't serve us by allowing his light sword to just move around our energy body, our aura, almost like he's able to just shave and remove anything that's no longer serving, perhaps some limiting beliefs, some things that have been holding us back. We don't even need to know what those are. We'll just ask for his beautiful power to come in. And with his sword, just create space in our field for these new opportunities to start to come in. Bringing in Archangel Uriel from the north. Bringing in stability and balance, allowing us to now focus on the trunks of the trees and noticing the roots as they go down deep into the earth. And feel your feet. Feel the bottom of your body start to grow roots out like the trees. And allow that stability, reaching up into the sun and down into the earth. Feeling yourself ground. And get your comfy spot as we welcome in Archangel Gabriel from the west, just showering us with healing energy, bringing all of the water, all of the elemental changes that come with washing away the old, washing away limiting beliefs, washing away these old wounds, and just creating this feeling of love and peace. And Archangel Raphael from the east, bringing in healing, reclaiming our power, reclaiming all of the things, all of the energy that we've been doling out and hounding out and leaking out, allowing all this energy to come back to us. Feeling whole as our bodies start to emanate this green light coming from our heart chakra, expanding as our energies all connect in the field and to the superconscious. This aspect of us that allows us to see from a higher perspective, guiding us towards opportunity, towards change. Perhaps there's even a spirit animal that's around you right now in the forest, an animal that's come to visit, bringing you a message. Taking note of that animal, whether you want to hold it, hug it, just watch it. It's there in peace, and it's bringing in the emotions of love and calmness and joy and happiness. And just allow this to wash over you. Taking a nice deep breath. I want you to take your eyes and focus them back up on the sky and notice that the moon is starting to come into vision. It's starting to come in with some clarity. It's starting to light up some pathways in this forest. And I want you to feel the urge to get up and follow this light. Follow this ominous light. It's hard to see exactly where this light is shining just yet. But I want you to start walking towards this slightly lit up path. It's like you can see it off in the distance. You just know you're supposed to walk there, having a little bit of faith that the right path is right in front of you. In fact, maybe you've seen others. Getting clear now on what it is that you want to create. I want you to imagine this vision, this fusion coming together of this creation of what it is that you want, and the light above showing you the exact path that's always been there. You've just never seen it in this light before, with this willingness to walk down it. Just imagine what this path looks like. Does it feel like it's calling you? Perhaps your spirit animal is ahead of you, guiding you, showing you exactly which path to walk down. Perhaps there's been little signs the whole way. Maybe there's even breaks in the trees showing you. Maybe there's even a sign. Maybe there's treasures left along, something sparkly. There's ways that are drawing you into this path that are unique just to you. Perhaps there's ancestors down there. Perhaps there's someone who's passed that's actually showing themselves to you right now on that path, directing you, guiding you, showing you in ways that you've never seen before. I want you to start noticing that there's some of these other paths as you're walking down this new lit up path. There's paths leading off to it, and you feel as though you've been there before. I want you to notice first that this path from the past, the inner child, is now joining you. She's come back down to the base of the path, ready to join you on this journey of where you're going. And she's going to teach you how to nurture her perfectly. She's going to tell you a few things as you're walking, as she chatters away, as she joins you or he joins you, telling you all the things that you need to hear, telling you all the things that they just love doing, telling you all the things they know about who they are before they forgot, before they were told not to. Allow yourself to hear some of those beautiful things about you, about your inner child, about the nurturing that they need, about what it is that they're wanting from you. And you ask them how you can help them along this journey, and they tell you. They tell you exactly what they need. Allow yourself to receive that information. And as you walk along this path, I want you to notice there's another path. And the you from 2016 is there ready to join along this new path. They've been there. They've shown you some expansion. They've shown you the glimmers of where you could go. But now they're ready to travel with you on this new path, this lit up path, this path of least resistance. Perhaps there's lights in the trees. Perhaps this eclipse that's starting to really take over is going to allow this light on this path. The beautiful thing about this path is that it needed the darkness to show the light. And as the moon starts to become in line directly with the earth and the sun, you start to notice this path brighter and brighter in the expansion that can happen and the things you want to create. And I want you to really be this person from 2025 that's at the end of this whole eclipse portal, even the end of these next 2 weeks, the person that has done gratitude every morning and every night, this person that is staying in the place of love, this person that is treating people from this place of love, this person that is treating themselves from such a place of love, perhaps in a way you never have before. What is it that you really need? And now I want you to notice this person coming along with you from 2016 has now joined you. You're all walking together with the inner child, the spirit animal, our archangels, everyone. You have a team. We always feel so alone, but we can connect into this team anytime. And perhaps they're chattering to you along the way too about some things that might just feel good, that maybe you finally feel as though you actually deserve. Maybe you feel like you finally really want in a way that feels brand new. Perhaps they'll even tell you what it's like to feel like you're in receiving mode. Perhaps you'll get that feeling of tingles up and down your back of connection, of your crown chakra opening, of your third eye expanding, and just allow this energy to move through, to replenish, to repair, to heal anything in the body. As you keep on this path, as you're walking down this path, letting this eclipse light show any shadows that need to be let go, that need to be not carried forward through, like feeling bad, like feeling stretched, like feeling sacrificed, like feeling squeezed, like feeling contractionary, just allowing all of that to be let go. Perhaps it's feeling bitter or angry. What are you ready to leave behind? Are you ready to leave this anger behind that just does not feel good? That does not feel like it's expanding your soul? Maybe we need to just let go of some of the ways we've been treating others and ourselves. Perhaps we can forgive ourselves. And just allow this beautiful energy, this moonlight, sunlight, nuclear fusion to recalibrate and rebalance any areas in the body. And I want you to imagine a golden light coming down from this eclipse and starting to trickle down onto your body, almost like sparkly dust or paint that's being poured out from this eclipse light, refueling, replenishing, healing, repairing all of your cells in every single way. And I want you to imagine a gold light coming over your whole body and down all of your energy centers, like a big tunnel, like it's filling you up. And I want you to imagine this light swirling around your whole body, swirling first in a counterclockwise motion, like it's moving through your whole body in a counterclockwise motion 7 times, like it can go through your whole body, literally moving, and I'm just helping it move here. We're just unwinding, we're releasing any energy in any of these energy systems, in any of the chakras now. Releasing, repairing, taking a nice deep receiving breath to this letting go, moving through recalibration. Hold that breath at the top for a few seconds. Allow that expansion of space to be felt through your whole body. And as you breathe out, this beautiful golden light is going to start moving clockwise, all the way down from the root, all the way up to the crown, 7 times, swirling throughout each energy center, throughout your whole body, just like this big, huge, golden whirlpool that just washed and cleansed every single atom of your energy centers. And feeling those colors start to recalibrate, noticing the colors, the red down in the root, feeling that expand throughout your hips and your legs, just cleansing and clearing all that energy, moving up to the orange and the sacral plexus, cleansing and clearing all body systems, muscular, musculoskeletal, nerve, disc, anything in those areas, all of the reproductive organs, allowing those to just be recalibrated. Setting intention to allow your solar plexus to expand, that sunlight within you, as this eclipse moves into a full shadow eclipse, lighting up your solar plexus in a way that's this nuclear fusion inside that's been waiting to happen. That fire is lit, that spark is lit. You are ready to become who you have been becoming over this last season of change, allowing you to be your true authentic self, to start to know you in such a beautiful way, and allowing your heart to open, to expand, to allow others in. You're safe. You're strong. You have your own back. You're not going to fall for the things that you fell for before. You've learned things. You can now safely allow your heart to open. You can trust that others that are magnetically aligned will be coming in to every opportunity of your life. Allowing that throat chakra, that blue, that gorgeous blue color, to emanate through the shoulders, the jaw, the teeth. As it starts to change into indigo and open up your third eye, you can feel your sinuses almost expand and pop and drain. So you can feel that space between the eyes and the brain start to expand so you can see things in this brand new way. And allowing that crown with that gorgeous white fuchsia type light start to expand beyond your body, beyond your energy field, up into the trees, down this lit up path. And as you see this lit up path in the light, I want you to notice what's really important to you there. What does it look like to be the person you've been wanting to become, to be more of those people that you admire, those people that you resonate with? Are you around them? Are you being around them now? Could you be around them? What's something you could do in this 2-week portal to really move yourself towards being in the presence of more abundance with people, being around people that bring that out in you, making some choices and some changes that you know are good for you? Perhaps that means leaving certain ones behind. Perhaps that means renewing some of the relationships, especially back from April when you realized, oh, I need to put a little bit more love into this relationship. And maybe you've fallen off. Maybe you've gone back into comfort and complacency. What are the relationships you want to nourish and that you really do want to keep in your life? What does this relationship with yourself look like? You ready to stop beating yourself up? You're ready to start telling new stories. This new path, this new you. It's been there the whole time. It's so powerful. Knowing some of the things that you love, knowing some of the things that really matter to you, how you can make a change in the world, how you want to help yourself and others heal. It could all be yours. It is right now on this path. Are you going to receive it? Are you in receiving mode? Are you ready for it? Allow this light to shine around at things you've maybe never looked at before. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be living? Do you want to be in the country? Do you want to be living exactly where you are? How do you want your relationships around you to be? Do you want them to be balanced? Libra's all about creating this balance. Do you need a little bit more? Do you need to ask for a little bit more? Do you need to communicate a little bit more? Do you need to give a little bit more or maybe a little bit less? How is it that you can create more balance in the relationships, in the career, in the abundance, in the creating choices for yourself? What is important to you? What do you stand for? What means a lot to you? What's always meant a lot to you? What can you not share with people? What lights you up so much that you just need people to know? What lights you up so much that you want to help people experience? Allow this shadow now to show you some things that maybe have been a little bit difficult, those shadows, those things you've been struggling with a little bit. And we're just going to allow the super conscious, if you guys are okay with this, to just tag and treat any of these in the field. Tag and treat the emotions that have been keeping us from this path. Tag and treat any resistance to feeling okay with being on this path. Tagging and treat the feeling of selfishness. Tagging and treating the things that we need to let go. Doing a massive change history around that. Tagging and treating any of the events and the experiences that in the past have kept us back, but that was until now. That was before we found this path. Tagging and treating that in the field and doing a massive recode on anything related to keeping us from this new path. Tagging and treating any of those limiting beliefs of not being good enough, not being capable, having to be perfect. Libra energy loves the way we look and maybe a little bit focused on that outward appearance and having to be perfect. Tagging and treating all of those. Being good enough, belonging, doing a massive change history around all of those limiting beliefs. Tagging and treating any of those secondary intentions. Anything where I would like this, but anywhere we're having resistance. And tagging and treating any of those broken agreements, those betrayals that we've had from others, those things that have brought us into grief, those times that we've been through that no one should ever have to go through. Tagging and treating all of those events and all of those broken agreements. Doing a massive change history on that. And tagging and treating these identities. The inner wounded child, the healer, the witch, bringing all of those identities on board and having them all join us in this path to creating the most amount of abundance, the least amount of pain, and truly creating that satisfaction. And I want you to feel like what it feels like to be the new you right now. I want you to step in to this reality, allow this light to shine. You're not going to see this again for a couple of years, this light, this path in such a clear way. I want you to notice what's around you. Are there animals around you? Is there music? What's making you happy? What's making you feel so satisfied? What's making you feel so abundant? Is there an amount? Is there an amount of money that you could be having every month? Take notice of that amount that just came into you right now. I heard a 10,000. Like, there's no way, there's no reason you could not have a $10,000 month with the skills that you have, that stepping outside the box, the opportunities, the things that are possible. Anything is possible. You could just choose to have a retreat and you could charge, that could be your 10 grand right there. You could choose to create something that people would find such value in. It may not be even what you thought that it was going to be, but maybe there's something that you could teach that if you put it out there, it would reach the people that it needed to reach, and they would be so grateful. Maybe there's people you could work with. Maybe there's organizations. Maybe there's something you could even do for fundraising for something, a charity that you find really important. It doesn't have to be you making the money, but what would bring more abundance in for you? What kind of freedom do you want? What kind of amounts are you seeing come in? This is the time to get so clear on this. What do you want to create? Do you want to create a life of abundance, or are we focused on that life of scarcity? Allow this eclipse light to truly show you what it is that you want. Tagging and treating any other resistance in the field. And staying on this lit up path, seeing that it's so clear and that it's actually been there the whole time. The goodness that's waiting down there, the amazing opportunities that could be. There's still more to see. And I want you to take a nice receiving breath now as you manage to come back to your body. Come back to this place where you're sitting, wiggling a toe, wiggling a finger as we ground all this into the matrix of the universe and into memories 1, 2, and 3, allowing our subconscious to just truly get on board, to really feel it, and to know that you're on this path, that you don't have to come off of it, that you can continue walking down it and allowing this eclipse light over the next few days, the next few weeks, to keep lighting up and shining what's on this path, what's really important to you. Things in this state of mind will come in receiving mode, and you'll see them as something where you may have literally completely missed it or not understood the message that it was bringing. It could be as simple as spending some time with a senior citizen and realizing those are the people that you want to connect with, spending some time with a teenager and noticing that those are the kind of people that you want to connect with, that is where your healing can be best used. That is where your love can be best. You may find that it's more about you, right? This is all such a beautiful and enlightening time. I'm sorry I went so much over time. Thank you for being here, Samara. Sending you guys so much love. My body's just releasing like crazy. This is a time to heal and nourish and repair and replenish. And I want us to be able to really grasp the manifestation that can happen so quickly over the next couple of weeks, which is why it's so important to be able to stay there. So I love it, right? I love it. I say senior citizens because I've been spending a lot of time with them lately, and I just love it. And it's something that it just helping them to stay in their homes is the board that I'm on out here, where we we give them different services and ways to be able to stay in their own home and do what they want, live a life they love, right? And today it was like, maybe they'd enjoy mindset, maybe it's just something that I hadn't done yet. I do stretching and balance work with them, but we hadn't really done mindset, and maybe that's something, it just, all of these things are just popping in. But had I been in the mode where, oh, I don't have time for this, I wouldn't have had that epiphany, wouldn't have had that idea. It's amazing to be able to be in solution orientation, right? I love it. I love it. This is wonderful. So thank you, everybody, so much for being here tonight. It really means a lot to me having you guys here, and this keeps me so accountable and so grateful for being able to love what I do and do what I love every single day. Having every single session I do, I just like, oh, I want this feeling all the time. I love it. And if I didn't have you guys to do this for, I wouldn't be able to experience that. So I'm very, very grateful. And sometimes that's just what we need to do, right? We need to just start doing it. And especially with coaching and things for you that are coaches out there, if we're not doing it, we're not able to experience that and have more of it. So if I can help you in any way to encourage you and get you rolling and started to do a group class or anything, anything like that, I feel like this is going to be a big time to be really coming into our true authenticity. So have a wonderful eclipse weekend. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. I love you guys so much, and we will be seeing you on Wednesday morning for our mindset session. Love you guys. Mwah. Take care, everybody.